Hi guys, Rachel Spunky Misfit Girl here. I'm kind of excited here because this is the first time I'm filming at my craft desk in a really long time. Between my trip away in April in the UK, when I just bundled up a bunch of videos ahead of time, and then the couple of videos with my face in them that I'm experimenting with, I haven't gotten to do a real crafting at my desk video lately. So hopefully this will be a really good fun one and you guys will enjoy. I'm trying out a little bit of a new setup too, lighting wise. It is the middle of the night. I mean, not really. It's evening, but it's dark out. And so I'm trying to get some lighting that will hopefully be a little bit better and not too shadowy. So you guys let me know what you think and I'll take a look too. I'm probably getting to the point where I should invest in some more professional lighting so you guys can see really well and it won't be so shadowy. But I try not to film at night too much. So today we are gonna make this really cute folio. This one was a lot of fun to make. I enjoyed it. It comes from and is inspired by a video by Melina Pylant, who I've done some of her projects before. She's a lot of fun, has a very thick Southern accent, and she's fun to listen to. She did hers with a plain piece of cardstock. So there are a couple of different ways that you're going to be able to do this. It's going to be kind of flexible in terms of what you want to do. I actually used a printed piece that was printed on both sides from the Vintage Memories pack, which somebody was actually just asking me about today. I use this paper pack all the time. I love it. It's very versatile, and I will link it up in the description again, or if I forget, just leave me a comment and I will link you up to it again. I got it at Joann, and it's just a great, really versatile, not too expensive 12 by 12 paper pack. So it's, however, we are going to cover up a lot of it. So, I mean, you wouldn't have to if you didn't want to. And I thought about that. But so this backing here, I used a simpler one deliberately because a lot of it gets covered up. But you can choose to do it however you like. If you use a piece of paper that you love and you want to show off more of that background, then you can opt to not cover up as much of it. But this is what it looks like. So it's got our policy closure, my knots sticking out a little bit. It's got our policy closure on the front. I used a brad, Melina used an eyelet. And I did cover the front a little bit, give it some decoration and some decorative paper. We've got this flap here that has a pocket. We've got a flip here that I think I've glued to my base by accident here. So we just pull that right up. So this has a pocket right in here. This cute piece here, and that flips up. And I should have put a pocket there or something. Journaling space, maybe. I didn't do that part. We've got a pocket here, and this is a cool, I really like this idea. This is something I haven't done before. It's a pocket that actually wraps around. So it's on the back and the front like that. And then it flips open. You have two cute little pockets in the back here. You can see their notches. And I just did very simple cards for those. And then we've got pockets, tuck spots up here too. And these pockets are pretty skinny and tiny, so you can't fit too much in them, and they're not super easy, as you can see, to get things in and out. But they are cute as heck. And so then these two both flip out, and there is a pocket with a little card in here. That's just a simple piece of paper card. And then we've got journaling spots, one that flips down here and one that flips up over here. And that is our super cute little folio. We're gonna make that sucker today. It's a lot of fun, but it does take a little bit of doing. So let us get started. So you're gonna want to have a piece of 12 by 12 paper. I'm gonna use another one from that Vintage Memories paper pack because I like it so much. Up to you though, like I said, if you wanna use something that's just a plain colored piece of cardstock, that will work too. And then you can cover it up. You're gonna need also some ephemera to go inside of it. And then if you want to decorate with these sort of bigger pieces of paper, you'll need some kind of other paper to go in there. The 12 by 12 will make the full base of this guy, but you will need other papers and for the closure and for the pockets and things like that. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is cut our base, and that is gonna be 5 inches off of our 12-inch, and I'm gonna do it just like that, and that is gonna make this main piece here. Okay, so we are gonna score that guy at 4. We're gonna actually pull this out so that we can do our second score, which is at 8. But I didn't bring my ruler because I cannot seem to ever, I mean, yeah, it's comical at this point, right? So let's try just using this edge of this guy here, and that's fine. So we're gonna score at 4, and we're gonna score at 8. And I think this will work out okay with this little guy here, since I have it on my cutter. Hopefully that's gonna be fine. The only thing about this light, I'm using a lamp that is a bare bulb. It's an Edison bulb, and it's quite warm. Okay, so we are gonna cut then 1 inch off of whichever is our top, which I think we're gonna fold this, and I think we're gonna be looking at, what do I want on the outside versus the inside? I sort of like the idea of maybe decorating this on the outside with something else. This bit will still show. But I've got some fun papers here for decorating the outside, so let's go with that. I think we're gonna do that, and this is gonna be my top here. So I'm gonna take and put this at 1 inch. It's a little tricky because I'm backwards. Oh no, where'd I lost my my blade. Somewhere went flying. Okay, that's okay. We've got extra blades in the drawer. No problem. Okay, so we're just gonna cut that 1 inch off, and we're gonna save that, okay? Don't lose the 1 inch. And we're going to round our corners too. We're gonna do a lot of corner rounding on this guy because it looks better. So on the top and on the bottom here, corners rounded. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our big piece that we have left and we're gonna make our pieces for these two sides, right? And the way we're gonna do that is we're going to cut two pieces. Both, so we've cut this guy, we cut 5 inches off from 12. So these are 7 inches on your height here, right? Yep. So that's fine. You don't need to cut that. So all we're gonna do is cut this guy twice at 3 7/8. So that's gonna be about here. 3 7/8. And we want 2 of those. Make sure I do this right. Don't mess it up for you guys. And of course, we're still gonna keep this. Keep that with our 1 inch that we cut off before. And just wanna make sure I still have you. Okay, so we've got these two pieces. And let us, oh, we've got to score those two. We're gonna score them at 2.5. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and decide what I want where first. So these are gonna be our pieces that go here. And I think I like that just that way. So I'm gonna actually round my corners for my outsides. So my two pieces, I've got one that's gonna go like that, and that gets its outside corners rounded, and then this one's gonna go on the other side, and that also gets its outside corners rounded. So the question is, I want my 2.5, I want it to fold like this. So I think that's my 2.5 there. So I want to score so that it's like this, right? So that's my short fold, or no, is it the other way around? I think it's the other way around. I'm gonna measure. No, I'm not, because I don't have my ruler. What is wrong with me? I'm gonna compare. This is what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna see, I'm gonna give it a little bit of a crease, and then we're gonna know. So if I do that, nope, that's not gonna be right. I think it's like that. It still seems short, really short. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened with this, because that's really not 2.5. I wonder if it's because I did these a little differently than what she did. So I'm gonna change it in the middle, midstream. Here we go. Glad you guys are here with me. So we are gonna score it actually a little differently. We're gonna score it here. We're gonna score it at 3 because I'll tell you what she did differently from me when we come to it. So it's up to you guys. If you want, you can score it at 2.5. I'm going to score it at 3, and I will show you the difference and the options that you have in a second. So you might want to just give me a chance to get there, and then you can decide how you're going to do it. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this one. But we want that the other way. We want it on the inside, so it should go this way. So I'm scoring opposite sides, right? So that the shorter piece, or no, is that not right? What is going on, guys? All right, so I want this about here, about there. This is where I'm scoring. So again, that's just not, yeah, so on this one, it is more like 2.5. Weird. Okay, I'm doing 2.5 on one and 3 on the other. And hopefully that's gonna work out just fine. And I haven't completely lost you guys. Confused the issue here. So this one's 2.5, the other one's 3. And I think the reason that's happening is what Mylena did was she actually butted these up against each other, just like this, and taped them on the back, and then put them in like that. But this piece in the middle is going to get covered up, right? So on mine, we covered it up with this square. So you really don't see that. So what I opted to do was actually overlap them and not worry about the whole taping and butting them up against each other and everything, because I knew I was just going to cover this up anyway. So I think that's why they're a little bit differently sized in their scoring. So you can choose to do that how you like. If you want to score them both at 2.5, that's what she did. And I'm going to ink at this point too, so I can explain a little bit more about that. So you can score at 2.5 on both and butt them up against each other like that. Or you can go ahead and score at 3 and score at 2.5 and overlap them a little bit the way I'm going to do. As you like, it's not a big deal either way. I'm gonna just ink it all. I want to do both sides to help me remember. Oh, I missed this. I missed filming. I feel like it is still pretty shadowy with this lamp. My camera over the top here, I'm getting a shadow from the arm. If anybody has suggestions, if you're doing any filming from the top and you have lights you really like, I'm happy to hear about them. I struggle a little because I'm very light sensitive. I see very well in very low light, and I do not handle ultra bright. Oh no. Ooh. I have to do something about that. That's no good. My score is so strong. And I was gonna fold this over and ink it, but now I'm a little scared to do that because it's ripping. I'm very light sensitive. and I can't handle it. I had a ring light, and oh my God, I could not use that thing to film because I can't sit here and work with it in my face. And it was like a super bright white LED ring light, and it just did not work for me at all. So I need something that's gonna be gentle enough on my eyes, but still, yeah, I'm not gonna fold that over because that's no good. It's gonna break. I'm gonna need to tape it up or something anyway. Maybe we can find a pretty washi tape that will just give it what it needs to strengthen it. I think my ink pad's getting a little bit worked out here. It's a bit light and faded on these here. Now, if you're new here, you absolutely do not have to do this. If it's not your preferred look, even if you're not new here and it's not your preferred look, I like the vintage inked edges look. I think it makes it look, it just gives it character, right? So I normally would do these interior folds too, but I'm worried about ripping. So what I did, yeah, so this, what's gonna happen here, because this is longer, so this score is longer on this side. I mean this width here, where I scored it. So that's gonna go on top. And that's why those different scores make a difference. I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry about that. Okay, so glue. I didn't bring my full glue either. My goodness, girl. I'm out of the habit of having to prepare absolutely everything. Okay, so we're gonna put this one in first, and I'm just gonna go ahead and glue this whole back side of this folded piece here. I just really, really hate video editing. It's, you know, probably like starting a YouTube channel wasn't the best idea for someone who hates video editing, but that's me. Oh my God. None of these want to cooperate, so let's just use the big bottle. And I really just try to avoid it. I try to just film. But if my sinuses aren't going to cooperate, then I might have to give up. And also, really having a little glue bottle is much better. So I gave myself a little bit of air when I glued these in. You'll see on this one too, I just left a little bit of, well, actually, that's, here is the equivalent. I just left a little, because I like that. I think it looks good. Oh, it's spring, you guys. I'm sorry. I am really allergic to things that pollinate in the spring. And I think probably the cedar here in Austin is starting to get me too. Okay, so then I'm gonna put this one just a little over the top of that guy. And that's gonna give it, that's gonna put my fold here. And that is why my scoring at 3 inches on one side and 2 inches on the other makes sense. You can just put your 3-incher over the top of your 2-incher or 2.5. Whereas if you're going Mylina's route and you want to butt them up against each other, you can score at 2.5 on both of them. And I am going to fill up one of these little glues. I don't think it will take too long. This glue is very, very fast. It's very, very full. And hopefully that'll give me a little one to use. So our next step here is the other big piece. And that is going to be our flap the top, I believe. Or no, this is going to be our wraparound pocket. No, that's not right. Where is this piece going? Three and a quarter by 4 1/4. So what is this? This is, okay, so if we're gonna wanna do this, we're gonna wanna go, I didn't make good enough notes. Okay, sorry guys, I think I got it now. The next piece that we're gonna do here is this big piece back here. That's gonna form our 2 tuck spots in the back there. And you're gonna wanna take your last big piece of your 12 by 12, and it's actually, I think I said 3 1/4, and it's actually 3 3/4, okay? 3.75, and so we're gonna cut that piece off first. And wow, somehow I lost my blade a second time. This thing just doesn't want to stay in here. Okay, it's a cursed video, you guys. It's one of those videos where just nothing seems to go right. It's okay. Here we go. We're gonna make a beautiful thing anyway. So the first thing I'm gonna do is cut the end off so that I'll have this little skinny piece, and I'm gonna save that too. And that was 3 3/4. And then we're gonna take it and we're gonna do 4 3/4. Okay, and we're gonna save that little piece, and this is gonna be our piece for our pockets. So that's gonna go right here. So you're gonna wanna decide, how do you want it to go? And I think I might actually leave this one on top, because I'm gonna put something on top of it too. Remember, we're gonna do this little piece over the top, so there will be decorative. So I'm gonna just round all of my corners on this one. We're gonna ink it up. Actually, first, before we ink it up, we're gonna fold it in half. And we're gonna punch a couple of notches in it too, to make our pockets while it's folded in half, so that we can get them even. Take our circle punch upside down, and there we go. And now we'll ink it. I love these tricky ones, but they are tricky. And actually, I'm gonna cover most of that up, so I don't think I'm gonna do that down the middle. Okay, so then to glue it, we're gonna go just a very thin line down this middle where it's folded, and then each side, but not where our notches are. And we're gonna glue it on just down here like this. Okay. Okay, and now we're gonna make our closure so that that will have a little bit of time to dry before we wanna put it on. Okay, so let's take a look. So that means actually what I have to do first is decide how I'm gonna decorate my front. And actually I wanna do something about this guy who's falling apart, and that can maybe be integrated into my, whatever I end up doing. Thinking about maybe using some of this just to heal this a little bit. I like that. Cut it. I brought over a bunch of papers from Emma Parrish's boho blue kit that I love to maybe use as decoration. So this guy's gonna fold up like this. Give my washi tape a bit of a fold. Oh yeah, I like that. So let's see what I want to do. Because if we're going to put the closure on, in order to make the closure, I need to know what my cover is going to look like here. So let's take a look. I brought these thinking they might be the thing, but I actually also have some little pieces that are also from this paper pack. I just pulled a whole bunch of stuff to bring as possibilities. This guy could make a cool thing on the cover here. So let's see if these are big enough. I might actually just keep this in this family and do something like this. Is this? Oh, this is exactly the right size. How cool is that? So let's think here about this. This like this, and this on here. I kind of like that idea, but I feel like it's just not quite cohesive. Look at this gray. I think the gray is not good. Also got this. This is from the same paper pack. Very, very pretty golds. If that could go with this, or if she gets outshone a little bit, I think, with that gold, maybe. I don't know. Let's cut it down and see. I kind of like the idea of it. So I'm just going to take this and make it the right size to fit just slightly inside of my piece here. And actually that was a little bit, I have a little bit more room on the other side. And I think I'm going to leave my washi tape to show. I think I would like that. So I'll go over the washi tape a little bit, but not all the way. So I'm just going to cut that guy out. Hard to see with the shiny light on the gold. Yeah, something like this. I don't know about that, guys. I really like her, but I just don't know that she goes with this paper. I could just do this. What else do we have? I just don't know if those boho guys that I brought are gonna fit. I also got some steampunk stuff. I've got some littler ones too. I have like this guy, but that gold is hard to do anything with. Maybe we'll just put like something like this. Oh, and I have to remember, I'm gonna put my closure on here too, so that's gonna have to go. So let's make the base. I'm gonna take two, oops, that wasn't right. I'm gonna take two 1-inch punches of some cardstock. I'm gonna look at what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna also around my corners so that this matches, so that I can at least see kind of what I'm thinking for how this is gonna fit on here if I go this route with something like this. And then my closure is gonna go in the middle. So I guess I'm gonna want that kind of in the middle rather than off center. I think maybe I'll just keep it simple and do something like this. And then we can maybe use one of those like this for here, right? But I'm also gonna do, actually on the other one, I did a small circle too. This is the 5/8 circle, I think, but I didn't bring that punch. So I think I might just do these guys, and that's okay too. And it's pretty simple, and I can show you how to do it. I like that. So let's see. Let's put this on, and we'll consider the gold, this little meshy stuff that I have here, and what kind of decorative paper to put on that closure. Oh, my sinus is really screwing me over tonight. Really sorry about that, you guys. Okay. So that guy goes on there, and then we're gonna do this here. And maybe this. Let's take a look. See what we think of that. And then it's gonna have that shiny brad in the middle. I think I like that. It's simple, but sometimes that's what's best. So for these, we're just gonna glue our two craft circles together and the decorative one on top. And look at how nicely it just wanted to go together for me. So that's gonna just get set aside. And if you wanna do the smaller circle, you can do that too. Just make a set of those, same way. 2 craft and 1 decorative, whatever you like to go on top of there. And just set that aside for a minute because we're gonna use it in a second. So Mylena used an eyelet on her closure. So she put her closure on now because with a crocodile, if you have to get a crocodile in there to set the eyelet, it's going to make it hard to do that. In fact, I think she actually decorated this inside flap first and then set her eyelet, which I wouldn't do because I would like to cover up the back of the eyelet. So I would, if you were going to use an eyelet, I would do it now. Put your closure in before you do anything else, and then cover up that flap. And you'll be able to cover up your little, oh, what do you call it? Hinge that we're going to make now too. So we're going to then make this piece. You have this piece, and that's gonna form this little cute piece here that turns into a tuck. So, and that's gonna go on to this piece here that you still have left from your 12 by 12. So the question is, and that's gonna flip, it's gonna flip down. So I'm just thinking about, I guess it's gonna mostly get covered anyway. So I think I might go this route, and I might cover it all just cause. So this guy, I'm rounding corners. This bigger piece, my corner rounder is being stubborn, and I'm gonna ink it all. And this was a little weird. I won't lie to you. This part, I wasn't totally sure how to do, so I'm gonna show you how I think it works best. So we don't need to do the bottom of this guy. We're just gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and do it all anyway. Okay. So you want a little tuck space. So what we decided to do it like this. You want a little tuck space in here because you are gonna tuck a piece in there that will make a pocket later, right? So you've got this guy right here. And realistically, with the way I've done it, you could stuff a little bitty something in there too. But, so you don't want to glue it. You want to leave that tuck spot in there when you glue it. But you want to also measure it to your width, right? So we're gonna put this guy about where he's gonna go on here. And then we're gonna see this guy goes about here. So what we want is just like a line of glue at the bottom here, but I'm not gonna glue it. Actually, I think what I will do is just glue the bottom to bottom. And then there's plenty of tuck space there. I think I went a little lower on the other one, but that's okay. So those two pieces, and then I'm just gonna give it a little bit to grab. So then you've got this skinny piece, and we're gonna cut that down to the size of this guy. No, to the size of this guy. Okay. So I'm gonna mark it, and I'm just gonna use the scissors on that one. Should have used the cutter. I can't even cut something that small straight. Okay, so that's gonna just get, I'm gonna also ink it. And it's gonna get folded in half. So you can score it if you want. If that makes it easier, probably would actually. I'm gonna just guess. Score what I think is the middle. It's not the middle at all, but that's okay. I don't mind that. Okay, so then that's gonna be your hinge. So you want your fold, your top of your mountain to go up, I believe is the correct direction. Yes. So that's gonna get glued this side here is gonna get glued to this guy. And I'm really making a mess of it here. Too much glue for such a little piece. And then you're gonna glue the other side, of course, to your top. But I'm gonna give that a second and ink my closure. And I think go ahead and put my closure on since we're ready for that. Well, that dries for another second. So I think I'm gonna put this guy on first. I think I'm just gonna put some glue here. I'm always nervous with these kind of meshy things that the glue shows through. It doesn't look good. But the meshy things are so beautiful. So I'm gonna put a hole with my crocodile in the middle here, or just about the middle anyway, guessing a little bit. And then I want it, actually I think I'm gonna do it here. Kinda, yeah. Here we go. Brad, and if you're doing the smaller circle, this would just go through your smaller circle first. And then your big circle. And then through your cover. Oh, for Pete's sake. It's not my night. There we go. Oof, oof, oof. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Pardon my allergies. Seriously, it's like, it's really brutal. I wasn't having any issues at all before I sat down to start filming. And then it was like, as soon as I turned on the video camera, my nose is like, haha, it's spring. Okay, so this guy, now that he's ready, this guy goes here. So back of my mountain fold, and that's gonna go in right here. And I'm gonna make sure I put it so that my bottom piece sits right in there properly. It looks like I got that a little bit off down at the bottom, so I just pushing that a little bit and cleaning up my glue on the top. And I think with this one I didn't cover this piece because it was nice as it was, but I think on this one maybe we'll cut a piece from here to put on top, because I think that'll be nice and it'll cover up that guy there, which isn't very nice. Now if I can tell where my marks are. And I also don't want to go too far with decorating right off the bat. Ooh, that's really skinny. Is that right? Before we get the full structure done here. Although I think we're pretty close, actually. Pretty much all that's left is now adding the pockets and things and the decorations. Okay, yeah, so this I'm gonna go ahead and ink and put that on top. So what we have left here, this is all we have left of our 12 by 12. That's the only piece we're actually not going to use. Although you could use it to decorate with if you wanted to. Really, just use up that whole thing. Okay, my problem is that this video is now going to end up being like 40 minutes long. And I'm going to have to splice it together, and my iMovie hates that. Trying to export a 40-minute video. It just never seems to want to do that. Okay, and so I'm going to want to cover this up. Maybe again with this, it's just about the right size, isn't it? I could maybe turn it into a pocket with that little, kind of like that. I think I might do that. I am going to cut off just a tiny little part of it though. Just a tiny bit off this side. Make a pocket back there. So I'm going to round the corner here, around the corner here. Ooh, that lamp is hot. Heating me up. Wow, that's cool. I actually really like that. Okay, totally different too than the other one. So I'm gonna glue this just on 3 sides. The only thing is I've got that brad in there, so anything you tuck into that pocket will catch on it. Unless I put a little something over it. So let me do that. I'm gonna, it's kind of up high, but I'm gonna put this over the top of it too. So that there's less chance of that being an issue. Okay, and I'm gonna put this piece on here like that. Cover up all the muck. and make a cute pocket. Yes. Okay, so that is most of the structure, you guys. The last piece would be finalizing your closure, putting your ribbon on. Let's fold it up the way that it folds and do that at least. Twine? Or what about, oh, let's do some baker twine with this one since we have that nice gold. It is a little bit fussy because it comes unraveled really easily, but we're just gonna stuff it underneath, tie a knot or two really under there, under that brad. And then wrap it around as much as you want, as much as you like. We're gonna cut this off. Oh my goodness. And that's gonna come around maybe a couple times, maybe just once on this one. Go around the guy. And then I'm gonna do a little knot on the end, especially so that doesn't keep fraying like that. And that is your basic structure. That's your folio. Now, if you want to keep going with all of the interior things, these flaps on the side here, these guys are 4x6 little pieces of paper that can, oh, I forgot about the folding pocket though. Let me do that too, because that I did like a lot. So that was 4 by 4 3/4. So what do we want here for that? I brought this, but they just really don't fit. I was so excited thinking I'd use those, but they don't match this paper very well. So what else do I have here? Ooh, I have this. This is a pink monarch, and I think this one might be nice for this. So what did I say? 4 by 4 3/4. So let's do, can we make it here 4 3/4? Yeah, we can. 4. So that'll be our wraparound pocket. So that gets all of its corners rounded. And it will get folded in half. Is that really, that's not right. That's too short. Oh, it goes this way, that's why. Silly girl. Okay, so it goes in half this way. So I cut it, I was hoping that I was cutting it so my text would go upright, but I didn't, but that's okay. I can live with it. Oh, and actually, I meant to punch my notches before I did this, but that's okay. Can always do it again. Okay. pocket, outside pocket. All right, which one? Let's put this one on the front. So that's gonna just go on there like that. And I actually really love that look. So that's gonna be just the two sides get glue. I wanna use that look on other things because it's really fun. All right, that on the back too, snazzy. I actually kind of like that sideways with since my lines there are vertical like that. Okay, and then let's do our inside flaps. And I will let you guys do your decorating otherwise. And actually, this might end up being, this is a pretty natural, I'm kind of just using what I have on my desk and it's working out really well. I like it when that happens. This is the other piece of that pink monarch scrap that I had, and it fits perfectly, or pretty close to it anyway, for my middle, to cover up that middle. And then we're just gonna put a pocket in there too. Okay, that guy goes in there. Okay, and so then we wanted 4x6. I don't want that gray though. So what else do we have? Double-sided 4x6. I actually don't know if these are gonna be big enough. We've got all these leftovers from specific styles of notebooks that I make for my shop for markets. How about this guy? Could that be two? Could that make them both? I don't know. I think it's too small. I kind of like the idea of them matching, but I just got my big scrap bucket here. And I don't know if I have anything that's gonna be big enough to match both sides. Might end up needing to be two different things. And actually, I kind of want this to be printed on both sides, but I don't have much of anything that is. So you could always glue something to each other too. Here's one that is that 5x4. So I could use that. It'd be a little bit small. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Let's do this. What else do I have in here? Maybe I have some papers. Ooh, I have these little guys. Oh, those are exactly the right size without needing to be cut. And they're blank. I think I might use those in there. I like that. This one's a little bit, oh, but that back, I ripped these out of an old book, or an old handbound book that I made, but that back is going to get glued on anyway, so that's actually a really good use for this because it's going to be useless in another context. So actually, let's move that up a little. So that flips up. So let's do this one this way so that it flips down. Ooh, it's a little bit big actually. So let's cut this one down a little bit. Okay. Ruler, you're no longer necessary. You're just getting in the way. This goes this way. Yeah. Oh, I like that. I actually like how that looks too. Give them a little bit of an extra crease on their folds. So they're a little bit bigger and fluffier than another kind of paper would be because they're kind of almost cloth-like consistency. So that is pretty close, you guys. Okay, so you're just gonna now do a pocket for this inside, and maybe I'll pull one of these that I pulled out of here that I like for this middle. Actually, because I need something for here too. Let's do that. Let's cut that to where it needs to be for this. Cover up this guy with something prettier. Then I'll make a pocket out of this too. We'll have matching pieces. And hopefully this won't be such a gargantuanly long video that I can't get it out of here. Out of iMovie. I think I want this to be a little shorter than it is. Okay. And then, you know, it's totally up to you on the other pieces. If you want to do more decorating in other places, I'm going to leave it to you to do that. I'm going to just put a little notch in here. And then this guy gets rounded corners. Trying to calm down and stop worrying about the length of the video, although I knew this one was going to be a long one because there's just a lot to it. Okay, and then with this one, you're going to, again, top, bottom. If you want to, you could leave that open as a belly band, but you can also do a line down the middle and just make those small little tuck spots too, which I like. They're kind of fun. So that's gonna go in there like that. And then this guy is gonna go 3 sides. Excuse me, please. Normally my allergies are bad in the fall because I'm very, very allergic to ragweed, but that actually has not been as huge of a problem here as it used to be. So I'm thinking the cedar is getting me now. Okay, so that's it. you guys, whatever else you want to do, if you want, like on this one, I did a little more decorating on that bottom piece here. I decorated on the pocket. Oh, this piece, I forgot that. So that is just, again, making a little pocket that's gonna tuck in there. Oh, for heaven's sake. So you're just gonna want it to just kind of tuck in underneath this guy. So you're just gonna make it sized to fit right in there. With this little notch and some ink. And then we'll just glue that in right on top. Well, we're going to tuck it in underneath the little boaty piece. Just like that. This is such a fun project. I'm sorry I'm such a mess tonight, you guys. But this is really turning out beautifully. The addition of that paper, I think, was really actually great. And it's nice having it match like that. And then these match. I think it's turning out actually really beautiful. I think that is everything. Then if you like, so I was thinking like I should do something here. Maybe underneath even. But not all you really have to do. Oh, and here, these, I wanted to cover those up. So I'm gonna do that off camera and just finish this up. But I did, you can see on this one, I put some nicer papers on there. And I'll do that here too. And then also add all my ephemera. I'm gonna give this a little bit of a fold, my pockets a little fussy there. And then it just folds up right like that. Oh, and isn't that so cute? Super cute, fun folio. Great way to send happy mail, add to a journal, give as a gift. Lots of fun. Thank you guys so much for putting up with me and watching and following along. Let me know what you make. Let me know how you get on, and I will see you in the next video.